Today's class, and we're making a crab dip. This is going to be something interesting and delicious because I myself am from Maryland. Therefore, I do like these ingredients that we're going to be using today. And you know, Old Bay, I guess it's got a good rap and a bad rap. It's like pumpkin spice. You put it on everything. But there are ingredients inside of Old Bay spice that I'm not too, I don't know, I don't support entirely because there's a lot of like spicy things like black pepper, cayenne pepper that can really aggravate my stomach. So I took those things out and made my own blend, and it's right here. Oh yeah, hello. And basically, it's got everything you'd want to have in Old Bay. Why do I say Old Spice? An Old Bay, because it just does. The recipe's good. And today we're not going to be making that spice, although you will find that recipe in the link in the bio. Okay, so let's get going with our ingredients here. Very minimal to keep it very easy. So we have some Maryland crab for starters. This is a whole pint. We're not going to use everything here, and we're going to keep it far away from Jennifer because she's allergic. We don't want to send her to the hospital again. And then we have some, this is sour cream. This is a tofu sour cream. I was really trying to find something that was going to be no tofu, more almond. And I got this brand, and it just wasn't that good. So I got Kite Hill. I've had it in the past. I have enjoyed it before. I'm here to tell you, don't buy it. It's like, how do you say this? The flavor of this ingredient is just kind of muted, and it tastes, what's the word? It just tastes stale. And with anything we put into all the recipes, that's the last thing I want to incorporate, especially if we're not using dairy. So we have that. We have some Dijon mustard. We have a lemon. We just need one. We have, what else? Chives, and chives right here. So that's all we need to make this happen. We're going to first start off by cleaning our crab. Now I cleaned ours in advance, so that's not going to be a big deal. I just want to show you how I would do it. So they come pretty like fat and thick, packed to the brim. And that's a good thing because you want to get the most out of this because this is expensive stuff. And I guess this was from our local seafood purveyor. I believe it was like $26 to $29. So it's pricey, but it's worth it. Now, wear some gloves in case you do have some people in your building that are allergic. And what I like to do, there's a couple ways you can do this. What I like to do is take like the crab, move it to one side for me, and I'll start like kind of shifting over, feeling with my hands if there's anything like poking out that's really like the cartilage pokes out, which is going to be really firm and sharp. Not sharp in like a cut your mouth way, but you will be able to notice, like here's a piece right here. I guess I missed it. It just feels like it feels like a fingernail. That is what it feels like. And when you put it on this blue container here, you can really like see it. You can hear it. You can just hear it's not soft and fluffy. It sounds like a piece of plastic. So we're going to set that aside. And just go through it all really diligently. And like a lot of crab meat is supposed to be picked already. And we also don't want to mush it around too much because if we do, it's just going to be like, it's not going to have its integrity. You're not going to know it is crab. You want people to see the fat, fluffy, juicy chunks of crab meat. And this is Maryland lump crab. It's not jumbo, but it's fresh. And if you do have access to fresh crab meat, that's amazing. So just go through them real quickly. And if you really want to get every single particle of cartilage out. Our friend Eddie Conrad in Philly does this trick where he will turn off all the lights and put on a black light, and apparently the black light will seek out the cartilage easier, so you'll be able to see the difference between the meat and any cartilage. And he'll have like a light on his head, I believe, and he'll use tweezers, and he makes sure that his crab is 100% cartilage free. All right, so we have this. We're going to set it aside. Now we're going to need 8 ounces. Let's take our measuring tool here, our cup measurement. 8 ounces is 1 cup. But with our 1 cup here, we're gonna pack it nice and tight. So we're just gonna press it down really nice and tight, dump it in. We can save the rest of this crab later for other recipes. And we're going to add in our Tofutti sour cream. And the reason why we're using this one is because it's nice and thick. If you don't have access to something like this, you can use yogurt, like Greek yogurt, and you can add a little bit of mayonnaise in if you want. I'm really not a fan of all of these like faux things. If you're able to eat yogurt, go for it. I would go for that first. But we're using about like a quarter cup is what it calls for. So that's probably that and a little bit more. And we're going to use, what else do we have here? We have half of a lemon. So let's add that in right now too. Make sure you strain out the seeds. The seeds are very bitter. And we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of this is our seafood spice, AKA My Old Bay. So this is a half a teaspoon, another half teaspoon. Great. Then we're going to add some Dijon mustard to this. We're going to add about a teaspoon. Just enough to give us a little tang and umami and a little spice. All right, I think that's it. Now we just need chives. Before we cut the chives, let's mix this up nice and lightly. Oh, we need some salt too. Now I messed up slightly, and that is because I should have added all of my wet ingredients before I mixed it with the crab. So I'm just gonna add it to the side and mix it around, so I don't destroy all of my crab meat. And I'm just going to fold it in together. This original recipe that I had called for mayonnaise. I hate mayonnaise. I think it's disgusting. It just tastes, at least the one I got, I tried like a couple, and there's just something about it. It just starts taking away from the deliciousness of what crab is. It just starts. Here's another item not to get. This is Primal Kitchen mayo. It's supposed to be very good ingredients, all organic, and as it's listed, it should be. But what it tastes like is stale mayonnaise. And maybe it's because it's been on the shelf, but I don't think so. Let's see the date. Best by June 26, 2024. So I don't think that this serves any of us. And if you want this, go for it. I'm not a big fan. But you'll see, like, once we use this Tofutti, we're able to get this really nice, thick crab salad that you can heat up or you can eat cold. All right, so now we're gonna add some chives. The recipe is gonna be calling for like a quarter cup, but you can use as much or as little as you want, and if you don't have chives, you can use scallions, but I do want to show you a trick here. So, keep them in a towel so they don't dry out, and you can do that by just It's kind of like sushi. We want to keep this nice and taut. So you're going to add the towel around and keep it nice and taut while you're rolling it. Now, because it's in this little bundle, we can slice without all of everything going everywhere. Like, they're not like spread out like this, right? Actually, you know what? We're gonna fold this over one more time so it's more manageable, and you'll see why in a second. Because you get this rubber band on here, but the rubber band starts constricting the chives. And I'm not a big fan of that. So napkin nice and taut. So it keeps them together, but it doesn't allow them to not be crushed. It's a nice way to keep everything taut and not crushed. All right, so trimmed off the ends. We can use those for garnishes. Now we're going to just, I think I've said this before, you're gonna feel like you're not cutting anything at all, but you wanna make sure your knife is against your knuckles. And as you're cutting, you also wanna be creeping back. So creeping back on the chives and allow the knife to be the lead. It's gonna lead your fingers to where you want it to go. Now when you get to the paper like this, you want to unravel, reposition your chives, and like before, keep them nice and taut so they look like this, right? So you can keep cutting them without crushing them. Super simple. If anyone has any questions, please drop them in the chat wherever you're at. And if you're looking for the recipe today, it's going to be on YouTube, it's in the description. If you're on Instagram, it's going to be in the link in bio. Chill Bill's recipes. So we're gonna do this one more time, one more pass. Add it into our crab, give it a taste. We need to add some salt still. Add them into our bowl. And we're gonna add salt before I forget. We're gonna add like a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Not too much, it doesn't really need it. Depending on where you're getting your crab from. I'm not saying crabs are in salt water, although there are some that do grow there. We just want a little bit. And once we mix our crab together, we're gonna give it a taste. We are tasting for everything, but I want it to be, I don't want it to, I'll show you what I made first, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is the first crab dip we made, and I'm not a fan. This is from the almond. You can see it's like nice, it's like glossy, goopy. It doesn't look like it's very appetizing. The flavor's okay, but I have this like stale almond, weird yogurt flavor in my mouth. Now with this one, the crab is a star, and that's what we're looking for. That's very good. Very good, maybe a little bit more salt. No, it's fine. So what we would do is we can serve this cold. We can warm it up in the casserole dish. You can just have crackers to the side. I have some gluten-free bread here. And we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna give it a taste. If you have any extra chives, if you want to serve this as like an hors d'oeuvre, boom, this is all you need. So good. All right, so before we get going, I'll read some questions off, but I want to let you know something. The reason why we have this dish come up at all is because I asked everyone on Instagram what they want to see me make every Thursday. So it's kind of like, what are you craving today? And tell me so we can talk about it and I can make it into an IBD-friendly dish or something that's a little bit more tolerable for people who have like stomach issues, like myself. I'm the most sensitive stomach I know, at least in vicinity of where I am. So this is the best thing for me. It allows me to have fun. So if you're watching on Instagram, please drop in the chat comments, wherever you're at, what you'd like to see me cook next. All right, so let's look at the questions. On Instagram, I think we have Oya, she said something. Idea, how about you figure out how to, a recipe. Let us know the ingredients in advance so we cook along with you. So, I like that idea a lot, but unfortunately, so Oya was saying that we give the recipe in advance, and I have been doing that, but not everyone has been joining me. So, I just felt like no one wanted to come. And that's cool, because I thought people didn't like looking at stuff online. This is not a victim thing. I was just trying to make things easier for everyone. But I will do that more, I guess, in advance more if everyone's into it. Anyway, if you have any more questions, drop them right now below. This is so good. But yeah, I'm gonna get going and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm gonna enjoy mine. We have a big party we have to prep for tomorrow. So after this, I'm cleaning up, doing that, and I'll see you guys next Thursday at 1 p.m. So make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you're on YouTube, Instagram, hit the bell, you'll be notified when we go live. Have a great day. I love you guys. Have a good one.